After months of football, chaos, injuries, wrong bets, and improbable narratives, we finally had the showdown of Super Bowl 60, and the number couldn't be more symbolic. The Seahawks and Patriots started the season with odds of 61, something that hasn't happened in over half a century. It is, without exaggeration, the most unlikely Super Bowl in NFL history. Two discredited quarterbacks, two coaches with opposing styles, and two defenses that turned January into a battlefield. The stage is set.
Days of football, we finally have our matchup for Super Bowl 60, and it is an appropriate number. Look at the odds on these teams in the preseason. For Super Bowl 60, they were each 60-1 to get there. It's the first Super Bowl in over 50 years between two teams that entered the year with odds that long. That's why I said it is the unlikeliest Super Bowl that we have ever seen. So, Dan, if you're going to get a quick big picture on it here, we're 13 days away from Super Bowl 60, but a quick big picture on it. You got Darnold on one side, you got Maye on the other, you got the two coaches, you got an interesting contrast in styles. Quick big picture on the Super Bowl.
Yeah, advantage Seattle right now. Obviously, it'll be a defensive showcase between both teams, that both defenses are playing at a high level. But with the way that Darnold has been playing and played last night, in comparison to the Patriots offense and really the Drake Maye kind of playoff run right now, you'd sit there and say you need more out of New England's offense because it has not been good enough.
See, my couple thoughts is I think Mike Vrabel's going to want Sam Darnold to beat him. I think he's going to try to take away Kenneth Walker III, who's been a big part of Seattle's offense. And, look, we also got to look at the defenses that Drake Maye has gone against in the playoffs.
Yes.
He's gone against the Chargers. He's gone against the Texans and the Broncos. Yeah. Those are like three of the top five defenses in the league.
Oh, guess who's number one?
Right, exactly. Yeah. So it's that's no problem for Drake Maye, I believe. He'll know how to manage
that. But they'll need more out of him.
They'll need more.
Totally.
But I'm banking on Mike Vrabel saying, we're going to see if Sam Darnold can beat our defense.
Well, I think it is interesting because the best defense on the field might not be Seattle's. All right, New England, during these three playoff games, have allowed 26 points. All right?
The contrast is fascinating. On one side, Sam Darnold playing the best football of his career, confident, protected by a dominant line, with Kenneth Walker III and an offense that can do whatever it wants today. On the other, Drake Maye, young, resilient, surviving a brutal stretch of elite defenses in the playoffs, Chargers, Texans, and Broncos, without ever breaking mentally. Defensively, New England deserves more respect than it gets. 26 points allowed in 3 playoff games is a mark of a historic defense, something not seen since the Ravens of 2000. Mike Vrabel has built a team that adjusts, learns during the game, and grows in the second half. But the big question mark is clear. The Patriots offense needs to deliver more. If Drake Maye and Josh McDaniels doesn't put something between 21 and 24 points on the board, there is no margin for error.
That's 3 playoff games, 26 points.
Right.
You know when the last time that was done? That was the 2000 Ravens.
I understand.
That defense was pretty decent. So to me, they don't get the credit that they deserve. And I think, look, the snow obviously has played factors into it. I think Drake Maye will be just fine. They better help that left tackle who can't block me. If they do that, they'll have a chance.
You're talking about Will Campbell.
Will Campbell.
What do you think of him at left tackle?
You know what I think
Rex
of him at
does
left
not have
tackle.
a high opinion on him.
I think he'd be a hell of a center playing left tackle.
Look, all things are relative, right? So Drake Maye has struggled in this postseason. He's gone up against, as you pointed out, 3 outstanding defenses. The Patriots' defense has been extraordinary. They've gone against 3 less than spectacular offenses, right? The Chargers were a shell of themselves offensively pretty much all year long. C.J. Stroud had one of the worst games that we've ever seen anyone play in the postseason. And yesterday, Jarrett Stidham hadn't thrown a pass in 2 years. So I'm not trying to take anything away from what the Patriots did. I'm saying let's see what they do against Darnold and Jackson Smith and Jigba and that offense.
Yeah, and an offense right now that's hot, and an offense right now that is capable of doing whatever it wants, whenever it wants. The offensive line for Seattle played great. Kubiak was outstanding. They got 2 receivers that are big time, multiple tight ends. And now they have a quarterback that not only has this, at least from now or to this moment, a huge monkey off his back, but he's going to go into these playoffs into the Super Bowl as confident as a quarterback can be.
Shefty, final word.
Yeah, I just know that when the Seahawks and Patriots play in the Super Bowl, that when you're around the goal line, you hand off the ball.
That's right. It is certainly a reminder, and we'll have it for you a little bit later. Take us back to the last time these teams played in the Super Bowl, one of the most famous plays ever made by Malcolm Butler. All right, we have much, much more on the NFL. We're practically wall-to-wall all morning long, but this weekend, huge event for you coming.
Your heart, though.
No, I like Seattle.
Okay.
I just think now New England doesn't get enough credit for how they play defense, but Seattle's dominant up front. They are strong, physical. They have good players in the back end of their defense. I give them the edge.
Yeah. And their coach has some Super Bowl experience himself that he could give to the Patriots to counter what you feel is on the other side of that Seattle team, but we'll see what's happening. We'll talk a lot more about it between now and then.
So, the Patriots were behind. Tom Brady and Edelman and Gronk brought them back ahead of the Seahawks 11 years ago in Arizona. They got to the one. It was 28-24. It was second down. And then this play happened. The name Malcolm Butler wasn't known by anyone, but now known in Super Bowl lore. Just like David Tyree, another unknown. And the Seahawks are stopped on the 1 yard line in the final seconds, 28-24. Little history lesson. I could speak 10 minutes on this game. At that point, New England was trying to repeat. They had lost, although against the Giants, unbelievably tough games. Had they lost that game, it would have been 3 losses in a row. Ooh, they can't win the big one. Seattle would have won 2 in a row, maybe had a chance to win 3 in a row. They might have been the team of the decade. It changed history or resumed it to New England, and Seattle never got back until now. I know I'm cramming a lot.
Yeah.
Now, on to Super Bowl in San Francisco, the next one. The 2 quarterbacks, Drake Maye and Sam Darnold. You think they're going to put on a show? Let's listen.
It's a new team. It's a new era, and I respect and appreciate what the Patriots dynasty did. And unfortunately, they didn't come out with some wins here. But we changed that narrative and look forward to bringing our best football for Santa Clara. That'd be pretty special.
I'm happy to be a part of this team, man. This group and this coaching staff is just, I'm really happy to be here. Happy to be in this position. I'm just going to continue to do the best that I can to put this team in positions to win football games.
Quarterbacks, defenses, who comes to the forefront?
Biggest question mark about Super Bowl 60 is Drake Maye. I think we know what we're going to get from Sam Darnold and the Seattle offense. What are we going to get from the Patriots offense? If Drake Maye and Josh McDaniel can't put up 21, 24 points, they got no shot of winning.
You know what? If it's just like it.
Yeah, but
I know.
That situation, he thought he was going to get a pressure look. They dropped out. And so now you have 7, 8 guys dropping back.
It's a good defensive call.
It is a good defensive call by Mike McDonald. You got to break your tendencies there. And so he doesn't know. That's why he double clutched. He was ready to throw the football, but there was no way to throw it. And then that internal clock gets in your head. I can't hold it for 5 seconds. And he kind of forced one. Witherspoon made a really good play. Stafford has nothing to hang his head about.
Oh, God, no.
The Rams played an outstanding game throughout the season. Boom. It's a really good year. Sean McVay is still one of the better coaches in football. But as I said earlier, in the biggest games against the better competition, your weaknesses and your flaws always show.
Very good. That was great.
They always show. And in this game, the Rams' biggest weaknesses weren't the quarterback. They weren't Devontae Adams. They weren't Puka Nacua. It's their special teams and their secondary. Special teams and secondary cost the Rams. And I think if you're Sean McVay, if you can convince Stafford to come back, that's one thing. I know that both coordinators are up for jobs and head coaching jobs and all that. If Shula comes back on the defensive side of the ball, what are you going to do if you're Les Snead and Sean McVay to ensure the secondary is better? That, to me, that's the number one question I have for the Rams.
And bull rush here and there, even though his defenders,
yes,
verse and obviously,
yes,
but can't have everything.
You can't.
Apparently,
you can't unless you're Seattle.
They got
it pretty good.
They got a lot of answers, and they got more answers on this day. And one of their answers, I'm going to do it anyway. JSN. All right, we have some sound from him. He led the league with almost 1,800 yards in receiving. How did he get open? That sounds like a question I should ask both of them. But meanwhile, he's going to the Super Bowl.
Just a true leader, true competitive.
leader. You know, he led us today. Can't say enough about Sam, man. It's been a great first year. We got one more to go, but you know, for him to overcome what he has to overcome, you know, I'm rolling with Sam all day. So, you know, we believe in him. This building believe in him. The city believe in him, and you know, it's awesome to run out on the field with him.
He's had 5 games against the Rams, including 2 last year with Geno. 4 of them are like stats today. And Rams are one of the better defenses. Yeah. I mean, I know they don't, you know, but this young man, he's. I don't want to say the sky's the limit because I had a guy in the Seahawks this week tell me, why would we make the sky the limit? But he's only, that was Devin Witherspoon, actually. He's amazing.
Something to think about, Boom. This thought just crossed my mind. If I remember correctly, the game where Darnold was supposedly seeing ghosts was against the Patriots. It's amazing. It's amazing how we come full circle. Here we go. In the Super Bowl.
We're getting to it.
It's Sam Darnold against the Patriots. It's amazing how life works. He's going to get an opportunity, even though the players are different and all that. I get that. But it's Sam Darnold against the Patriots.
There's a lot of plot lines. And speaking of the Patriots, both they and the previous 2 seasons combined, New England won 8 games.
Wow.
This year, they've won 17. And this is what Mike does all the time. You've seen it. But this was tonight in Denver, making sure he greeted all the players, everybody, give everyone a hug and their wives and their families. And, I mean, this is as legit as you get. And then we've seen this every game. And I tell you what, Mike's got to be sore after all these games because they win every week.
How about shame on you, Tennessee? I'll just say that. Shame.
Super Bowl 60 is not about traditional favorites, dynasties, or established quarterbacks. It's about journey, redemption, and how much football can still surprise us. Sam Darnold against the Patriots closes a nearly poetic cycle. Drake May carries the future of a franchise that has learned to win again through defense. Seattle seems to have the advantage today, but New England thrives on discomfort, ugly play, and breaking expectations.